Some decent music going on right here. Still haven't heard if anyone can actually hear the music that I'm playing. But maybe you do, so you can, right? I'll start sharing my playlist that I'm sort of like listening to in the day, but I've been trying to work with the lockdown playlist, which is on my Spotify, right? Mikeeyoga. You can find me there. You can add some music. It's open to collaborate, and feel free to do so. So happy full moon, everyone, right? The curative nature of following the phases of the moon is that in a full moon, you may go out and partake of the cleansing. The cleansing that is offered at this point is, if you've got some crystals, go out and cleanse them in the full moon. You and Beyonce, they're doing it at the same time, myself included. But also to think about what a cleansing really does, right? So I know that in my past I've taken sort of on some kind of notions of what I need to do in cleansing through my diet, right? And feeling like, okay, cleanse my body and then everything will go right with my mind, and it's just like sort of sweeping up the dust underneath your bed. Yes, sweeping up underneath your bed is good remedy for feeling that your spatial relationship to your temple is kind of set and in tune and clear, right? And yes, being in your body and feeling like that you have less of the things that gather or congest you does also feel good doing. But you can also trust that in both spaces, your body and your temple, there are things that naturally occur that will just cleanse you, right? Your body is this fantastic machine that will work out any of the things that have maybe sort of been misplaced or overabundantly sort of been accumulated. So it will go out on its own without you having to put yourself into sort of a bathroom mode that you can't get yourself out of. And you know what I mean if you've ever put yourself through one of those types of cleanses, and I have to. And so, but that's a really interesting sort of note that sort of segues into my actual theme, which is this beginning part of this month. There is an aggressive shift into change. And in this beginning part, which the shamans still have been sort of forecasting that this beginning week is going to feel like chaos, right? The suggestion is that like it's going to be unsteady and unfocused, but to me, I actually felt very focused, and I thought that it was a really great day and some really wonderful things happened. And I thought like, okay, so then what is the reminder right here, which is to not believe everything that is telling you must be sort of withheld or not withheld, that you have to manifest that in your own way. You can observe it, and maybe those things are true in some aspects, but you don't always want to take a forecast and to make it true. You know what I mean? So in that, in the art of being aggressively open into the adjustment, into the sort of newness of yourself, right? Be free to be in self-discovery and be the creator. And also I implore you in all the ways that we are at home, in so many ways that you are, whatever day, if this is your Monday practicing yoga, wear what you want. I'm wearing what I want, and I'm not doing this for anyone else but myself. And I love the way I look in this way. And if you don't, you have the freedom to not watch. Okay, so come to a nice tall seat. Welcome to this practice of Mikeeyoga. I'm alive tonight. You're alive in your body, so you can feel that even if you're taking this on any other day, that while you're experiencing this practice, you're alive at that moment. Here we are. And let your hands come together at your heart into the art of knowing that what you believe is true, right? You can enact. And that you also know that the truth is not what someone else is telling you, right? So what is true and what is right for you is something that feels like it has placed itself in your heart, right? And you are doing this in so many ways that you recognize yourself so well, right? So we'll do that in our shapes, our poses today, right? Bow gently to your heart, to yourself, to all hearts. right? And the great thing about any of these kind of platitudes or these like isms is that they can be contradicted, they can be remade, remastered, or retold by you because you're the storyteller, right? So don't forget that. So I'm not telling you to do anything that you shouldn't do. All right, come to your mat. So I'm counting this as 6 minutes. We have started, so that means we'll finish it at my time of 7:06 because this is a 30-minute class, and I want this to be a 30-minute practice. All right, so we're coming to your mat. I'm inspired by this really lovely shape that is totally bonkers, and it's going to be a development, right? So I hope to like bring a little bit of it into tonight, but we'll see. And I'm very, very sort of, I'm enthused by its potential. All right, so as you're here in your legs, right? Finding your legs right underneath you, right? Take your arms up to the sky. With an inhale, right? And then bend your knees as you forward bow. So you bend your knees, your hips go back, so you're just giving yourself as much room as you maybe sort of do or not affording yourself in your legs. All right, I'm gonna pick up my left leg and open my hip. That's all I'm doing. I'm just giving myself some room to feel the weight in my standing leg, the kind of distribution of strength upwards as well as downwards and outwards, right? So you can point or flex your foot. You could also wag your ankle and your foot around, right? So just making sure that you're doing it consciously and that it's not just a noodle limb, right? Shifting into your left leg, right leg picks up, opens up. If you want to stand straighter in your standing leg, if it helps to kind of look under your right arm while you do so. And then again, if you wagged or swung or sort of swiveled through your ankle on the left side, do it on this side, because you don't want your sides to be jealous, right? Place that foot. Shift again into the right foot. There's just this tiny little sort of micro kind of push off from that right leg. If you're going to bend your right knee and then straighten it, imagine that when you straighten the right leg, the left hip becomes more open, right? And the right knee again. Fold your chest into your right knee and then press the leg to straighten, tuck your chin, open the hip. Right, so we're going into some glute strength today. Left foot goes to the floor, right leg opens, lifts, and then left knee bends so that you can get it sink in, right? Melt if you wish, and then press to widen. One more like that, bend your knee. You're gonna tap in to where you're sort of densest in your center of gravity, and then you allow that center of gravity to inform and to explore as you open. And then right foot comes down. So by the time you come out of that, you may kind of feel that there's like a little bit of fatigue that's going on in the booty and the glutes, and that's kind of the point. Inhale to a flat back, lengthen the spine. Right, both knees bend, drop the hips, go back. All right, we're going to do a couple turns here. So you're going to turn towards your right and then place your left elbow, right? It could be your forearm. You could bend the arm or not to the outside of the right leg, and the right arm's up to the sky. And then keeping that sort of low ground, come back through middle, and then go the other way. So kind of using a little bit of articulation and strength through the core, your abdominal muscles, and your back as we swim through the middle, right? Back to the center. Up to stand, and then fold. Again, a little bend in the knees, the hips go back, you get a little bit more, afford some space to fold in closer. All right, shifting the right leg, open that left hip, left leg off the floor. I'm going to tiptoes for a moment in that right foot, so the right heel comes off the floor, and I'm going to gather a little bit more grounding, bending the right knee, right heel goes to the floor, I'm sinking down. This time, when you straighten the right leg, straighten the left leg too with the hip open. And then as you start to push that left heel back, right? Slow, slow, slow. Nice control from right toes to right heel. Push to land the legs in pyramid pose. And then right knee bends, you're in lunge pose. Right leg goes back, you're in three-legged dog. And then we're just going to reverse that, right? So there's a little bit of a left knee bend to push out and open through that right hip. Use your exhale so you're kind of creating kind of like a little, sort of a real little
sort of a sequence, a path, right? Shifting to the right leg, left hip open, coming from the same place we were in. Left foot meets, down to the right. Right, bend the knees, push into the floor, then open, right hip open. Okay, you're standing on your left leg, both knees bend, and this one is the push to expand into straight legs. Right, just a little tuck of the chin so that you're not in sort of folds in the back of the neck. And then you're staying very, very true to the tips of the toes of the left foot. That's the front foot. As you're spreading back and leaning very, very precisely, timing where that right foot lands. So you end up being in a little triangle pose, or a pyramid pose, sorry. And your inhale, your chest comes forward, left knee bends, right heel goes up. You're in lunge pose. Left leg goes back. And you're simulating that same shape. So right knee is going to bend, and you're going to sink back into that right foot. And then as you straighten the legs, right, that's where you open. And then you can bring that left foot forward, place the foot, lean into that left foot, open the hip just like we started. Right, get a little bend in the knee, and then you place right foot to meet the left. So we're being very precise. So even if you're a person with a couple little areas where you're a little sort of trepidatious about going into, right? Be it some feet stuff, some knee stuff, some hip stuff, maybe even back and shoulders, right? You're going just so intricately, but also really, really sort of wildly explorative that you know where your pauses are sort of most essential. Think about sort of your aggressive essentials. Bend the knees, pushing the floor, up the stand, reach up to the sky. Little squeeze of the glutes, and then a release to forward back. Okie dokie. All right, let's start this over again. Knees bend, you get a little bit of that sort of push, chair pose. Okay, we're going for that little helicopter turn. Left arm, as you reach that left elbow to the outside of the left knee, you're gonna see if you can bring your palm facing the right ankle towards that right heel, right arm up. Okay, your legs are pretty stationary from where you started, right? Your chest from the left rib is spinning over to the right and outwards, right? So then when you transition this, back through the middle. I'm turning just so you get an idea that those legs, right, your little legs stay, thighs stay parallel to each other, right? Turning through your articulation, right? Scoop, tuck, right arm, right palm turns towards left foot, left arm goes up, right? It's a very small space in that sort of mid to low back. Whew. Right, inhale back through the middle. Oi, oi, oi. Right, come up to stand, reach up to the sky. There you are, nice squeeze in the glutes. Exhale and fold. So now you can fold maybe with a little straighter legs, so you don't have to bend the knees unless you should, right? So important. Okay, bend both knees. Left heel kicks up and back and open, right? So it's a little bent knee, open hip. Right knee bends to sort of give you a little bit of that concentration. And then straighten both legs here, lengthen. Right, it's a soft, smooth transition. It's so precise. You can see every moment of that land, left big toe to left heel. So you're in pyramid pose. And then look forward, you're in lunge pose. Right leg is going to go back. You're going for open hip, and you're going to lower that left elbow to the floor. Interesting enough, right? So now you're going to bend that left knee and the right knee. You're going to sink back, and then very cute, we're going to very carefully straighten the left leg, bring the right knee out to the right, right above that right arm, pause there. Right, so it's sort of left forearm on the floor, right knee to right elbow, and then lean that right knee a little bit more forward so you get a little bit more of a split. Right, pressing into the hands, you pick that back up. Take it to a three-legged dog. Come forward to a plank pose, right? Foot goes to the floor. Then right here, take your right hand off the floor to bring your elbow to the mat. Take your left hand off the floor, bring your left elbow to the mat, and then turn your heels to the left and take your right arm to the side. So it's a forearm, side plank. Now you have 3 little dips. Left hip, dip down, right hand towards your heels. I'm actually tapping, touching, landing. I'm gonna pick it back up. 2 more like that. So it's your exhale, brings it down, keep your neck long. Inhale, pick it up, right arm reach a little further. So get a little arch. Last one, exhale, tap down. Inhale, pick it back up, heels up, right elbow to the floor. Left hand off the floor, left hand to the mat, right hand up, elbow up, plank pose. Here's your chaturanga chin, heart stays open. Cobra or up dog. Whew. Okay, exhale back to down dog. Here we go. So we've been playing with some good kind of preparatory acts towards our handstand. And right here, we're just gonna take little baby hops, but we're gonna pike in the air as we do. So as you bend your knees, we're only hopping like a couple inches to land in a shorter version of a down dog. But when you hop, right, I want you to straighten the legs in the air, okay? Look between the thumbs. Hop a little bit farther forward, right? Hop a little bit more forward. You might be very close to your hands already. If you haven't already, you got a little bit more hop, little hop hips, feet towards your heels, your wrists. Inhale to a flat back. Woo! Right? Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, sit to chair. Here's our twist again. And we're gonna helicopter arms to the right, left hand facing the right ankle. You might even grab that right ankle right there at the sort of where the shin meets the foot. Okay? And this little top arm might be so open in the shoulder that you can drop it across to get a nice little bind here, half bind. Okay, release the arm. Whew. It's a deep rotation in that shoulder cuff. Whew. Take a little moment. My air conditioning's been off for a moment, so I just, for myself, I need to kind of spread out that skin tissue just to like let more air touch it, surface area. Sit to chair pose again. Let's take it over to the left. First right elbow, then right palm to left ankle, left arm up. Right? Let your bones and your muscles kind of organize and set in place. And once you feel correct, and it doesn't have to be now, you might half bind, right? So it's might, maybe, right? This should not block your neck and make it feel like you can't breathe. Okay? Left arm release, feet press on the floor. It's a nice, precise feeling. It's kind of regathering, reforming, sort of that cleansing nature of a twist that gives you sort of this feeling that of the embodied nature, that it's not coming only from one direction. Like it's not a diet. It's not sort of cleaning your apartment. It's not sort of a method that you read in a book that you think that is sort of going to help you exteriorly. This is all sort of built by you, right? Ooh, I'm talking too much. Okay, both knees bent. Pushing the floor, you're gonna open that right hip. So the right foot comes off the floor. Right, left knee bends. We're gonna spread out and stretch it, both legs straight. Okay, you're gonna lengthen the spine. Right, with control, with precision, with float, with clarity. Right leg lands, and you get in that real cute version of your pyramid pose. Okay, and it's like you're scooping your inhale forward into your plank, your low lunge, and then left leg goes back, and you're in your open hip three-legged dog. And this open hip three-legged dog, right, you're gonna lower the right elbow. So I'm a big fan of that. But you're gonna go even further to bend your right knee so that we use this kind of ability to kind of crunch up into our core, right, into our center of gravity. And then when you straighten and lengthen, you're gonna bring that left knee way up that left upper arm and really sweep that left hip around. So it's not cutie pose, but it's so close to it, right? Because it feels like your right hand could come off the floor. Okay, I'm gonna sweep that back to three-legged dog. Woo! And step it and slide it forward to plank pose. Okay, right here, left hand comes off the floor, left elbow to the mat. Right hand off the floor, right elbow to the mat. Now heels to the right, and left arm to the sky. Okay, so this is going to be a little dip with a left hand reach towards the ankle. So dip and land for a moment. So it's almost like you let go for a second and then you have to fire it up again to lift again. Reach. Exhale to lower. Maybe you have to fix that elbow if you're not comfortable. Inhale up. And then one more time. Exhale. Lower. Inhale up. Forward. Heels up. Elbow down. Then you go right hand. Then left hand. Now we're in plank pose to take our chaturanga. Okay? So you feel that chaturanga almost kind of feels like a blessing to as opposed to being in a side plank on elbows. I prefer straight arm side plank myself. Okie dokie. So we did almost 3 or more hops to the front. Let's try to make this 2 pike hops towards the hands, right? So 1, 2, halfway up, and then all the way forward. And so that little hop, we're trying to control that our hips are above our wrists, but not feeling that we're throwing ourselves into a fright mode, right? So it's all in the art of play. So we're just gonna finding our bounce and trying to understand what momentum is behind it, right? So you're in down dog, both knees bent, right? You're still looking between your thumbs because you don't have to go past where you already are, be where you are, right? So closer to the hands, probably the most relative, right? Knees bent, right? Hips hop, halfway up, right? So it's just a little short down dog when you get there, right? Making sure you're still comfortable. You have to adjust, neck, shoulders, eyes, looking, right? Both knees bend, nice little concentrated, almost like a little cannonball, right? A little hop, and there you go, right? So it's not entirely so off-putting that it throws you out of your comfort zone. Inhale to go flat back. Whew. Exhale, hold. Looking good. Okay, inhale all the way up. Arms reach up. Palms together. And hands to your heart. Okay, right here we're gonna get a little bit sort of a feeling of opening ourselves up a little bit. So you're gonna take your right arm out to the right and then across your low back, right? So you're gonna go across your low back so that your hand lands to the outside of your left hip and that right shoulder is down, dropped away from your ear. True story? Sure. Okay, turn in the shot. Okay. Right, so 2 ways. You can either brace and hold your hands to each other, which is nice and comfortable, and drop your left head to your left shoulder. Left head, only one head, left side. Right shoulder stays down. So if you have a tendency to really sort of clench, pinch, get a little bit sort of stuck there, this is a nice way out of that. Okay, now we're going to continue that. Now left arm is going to go down your left side of the leg. Release that right arm with all that space. And like yesterday, right, we're going to give ourselves that room to just kind of side arch, reach. And then from that, lift left arm, right? Come back up. Nice and tall upright. And then sit to chair. So we're not finished with this. Turn now to your right. Left elbow hook, left hand down towards ankle, right arm up, and then right arm across the low back again, right? So it's right where we started, right? You could take your left arm all the way underneath your thighs and find your fingers. So you're almost essentially just grabbing both your thighs and you've got a full bind in chair pose. That's a lot. There are a lot of legs to hold on to. Right? Let that go. Sweep it up. Swim it up. Get your breath. Arms up to the sky. And hands to the heart. So you're welcome if you like that. And if you don't like that, like whatever. Do something else, right? I know like people, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. You can make an adjustment to whatever you're wearing. Or you can don't check your phone, please. Right? Plenty of time to do that. It's left arm sweeping around across the low back, and you either are holding hands or just keeping your right arm to your side. So that is the option, right? Arm can be the side, head drops to the right. So right ear to the right. I'm even in the option of straight arm, straight right arm. I'm actually holding my bicep or my elbow with my left hand
as I press down. Right? Can I get in the screen? Oh, almost. Make sure you breathe. I'm feeling like a little strained here. I actually like the handhold here because this gives you a nice ability to kind of control that right shoulder as you open. Okay, then your right arm goes down. The left arm's going to pick up to follow over. Right? So that's like a nice feeling of kind of feeling that tether of strength and power that goes down into that left side, into that left heel. Right arm goes up. Oh, oh, inhale it up. You're going to go right into your chair pose. Swim it over. Right elbow outside of left knee or lower. Palm towards thigh. Left arm up. And then again, bind. Right? So your option, if you're just like, what the even F, right? You don't have to bind both legs. You could unravel that and bind just the right leg, right arm through, right? So that's kind of an option, but I didn't want to like sort of give you an out until it made sense to do so. And then our shoulders and our arms and each side is a little bit different. So my right hand and left hand sort of, they don't behave the same way. So my bind on this side is not as cute and clear, which is fine. I can be honest with that, right? Let go of that bind. Oh my gosh, right? Arms into the sky. You're welcome. And feel the freedom of coming out of like the thing that was restricting, right? That's what a bind is supposed to do. It's reminding us of the things that we get really, really trapped in. So we can notice like what it's like to just choose to let go, right? Here you are. I'm not even trying to be your prophet. I'm just like saying this is how I've interpreted it through my own practice, right? Forward bow. Well, where have we been? We have some stuff to do still, like open that right hip, right? And then place it back, right? Open the left hip, right? Bend both knees, right? Straighten both legs. Tip back to pyramid pose. Okay, right knee bends, chest goes forward, right side goes back, three-legged dog and an open hip. Okay, so here's where our little cute fun thing's gonna happen. You're gonna bend your left elbow and your left knee, so your left elbow comes to the floor. Then, as your right knee comes towards your right upper arm, right above the elbow, right, your left leg straightens, your right leg goes forward, and you're gonna grab that right big toe, and you're gonna bend that elbow. So you're kind of right elbow bend like half of like a pigeon pose, or not pigeon pose, a crow pose with a nice sort of weird split, right? Let go of the foot, press it back, three-legged dog. We haven't done a real standing pose yet, so let's do one. Step the foot forward, go warrior two. And palm turns up, reverse warrior. And because we've been binding so well, take this up through warrior two. Right arm is gonna sweep to the inside, low shoulder on that right inner knee, and take a bound side angle pose, okay? To a bound from right toes to right heel to right hip, bound triangle pose. So cute, right? Bend that right knee. When you bend the knee, bring your right hand to the outside, to the right of your right foot. Does that make sense? So you're just in a low, low place where you lean into that right foot. Your inhale is going to kind of inflate you off of that front foot and the back heel, right? It's going to take you to a little Kundalini. Awesome. And then right here, stay in Vinyasa or in your Chaturanga. Just step the right foot back, right? That way, yay. Up dog to down dog. I don't know if you like that or not, but it's there for you. All right, we're gonna hop this one hop to the hands, pike in the air, right? Hips over the shoulders, legs nice and straight. See if you can land with them straight. And just kind of see if you can slow it down. So I'm not great at this. That's why I think it's good to approach it. So I don't want to stay in a safe place. Stay a place where we can all learn together, right? Knees bent. Nice long neck. Look forward, hop. There you go. Feet forward, my knees bent a little bit. I'm okay with that. Inhale to a flat back.
Exhale, fold. Whew. All right, here we go. Now we're shifting into the left leg, right hip open. Right, left, both knees bend. And then straighten both legs, right? So it's an open hip, standing split with a little timber, right foot steps back to land. Really beautiful pyramid pose, right? So you can kind of really feel some of those places that we unlocked from the hips up towards the underside, scapula, shoulder, out through the fingers. Really, really cute, right? Left knee bends, you're in low lunge. Left leg back, you're in open hip, three-legged dog. And then that open hip, three-legged dog, you're gonna right elbow bend, right knee bend. So it's gonna get really secure in your right side so that your security can push you into the flight that is gonna be that shape that we're taking next, right? So as you come forward through that left hip, your left knee towards that left upper arm, right arm up to grab that left big toe. Left knee bends, stays bent, so that you can reach that left arm forward. Both legs are straight. Right? Stick your butt out behind you. Oh, left knee bends. That's a sticky one. It's kind of cute and fun that we can actually sort of workshop that one a little bit. It's Monday, so it's the beginning of the week. Left foot forward. Whew. Warrior two. Left palm up. Reverse warrior. Right, that was a lot of collarbones, right? Come forward for the bound version side angle pose, right? So I get my shoulder, the inside of my knee, pull the arms back so you get your chest open, and see if your hands will naturally find each other behind you, back by your left booty, right? And from the left toes, the left heel, up past the left knee, bound triangle pose, right? Top of the head forward, no locked knees. Right, not necessary. Right, to complete. Left knee bends. Heart stays low. Both hands to the floor. Okay? Left foot, right, as you take your inhale, right heel lifts, left foot sweeps around, left hip. And this is a Kundalini to a chaturanga foot, right? And then all that strength is up and forward. Up dog. To down dog, which we have not spent a lot of time in, right? So just take this little moment here to let this be a curative place, right? So it's a remedy because we really kind of tapped into a lot of strength. So by being power yoga, this is no joke. This is not one of those power yogas that are just going to exhaust you with so much repetition. You're like, oh, of course I'm tired now. That's fine. This is like your true muscle, right? And there's plenty of more practices just like it. This is just happens to be one of them, right? Heart soft. Big inhales. Big exhales. Big inhale again. And big exhale. Look forward to your thumbs. This one is going to be a little hop, kind of like a cannonball hop. And your knees are going to the floor right there between your thumbs. So you have that big jump that we've been hiking in, but you're going to tuck your knees towards your chest and land like a soft little feather, right? Knees bend, look forward. We'll see about that, right? Little feather, right? Come to stand on your knees. All right, so you're standing on your knees. We're not mad at that. Knees are underneath you where you feel balanced. Just a little shake your shoulders out, right? It does not matter if you've never done this in yoga before. That doesn't mean it's not yoga, and it doesn't mean it's wrong, right? So you don't have to always do the same yoga all the time, and this is not a lesson. It's just a reminder, right? So what we're doing is just like practicing the art of being creative in the living space. Right, the last little piece that we're gonna do, right? Right arm goes up, and then you're gonna reach that right arm to your sides. Your hips don't change, right? So I'm not leaning off of my left knee. I'm still on my left knee. My left hip is above my left knee. And my left arm is gonna arch over to my side too. So from the side, it's right wrist is over to my right. Left heel is down. It's a side bend with a little grounding, right? Come up And you get to feel sort of that strength of your foundation to tip you. Now left hand is going left and out, right arm up and out to the left. Right knee and hip stay down, a little lift of the chin. You can look at your right hand, right? So adjust yourself so this is not sort of inhibiting your freedom to enjoy, right? If you feel like this is blocking your vital place of breathing, right? So back off, right? You can always go to left hip. I know that's a late cue. But nonetheless, we should always play with our intuition for those little places. So that's our practice for today. Come to Baddha Konasana. And since it's a half-hour practice, we don't shavasana as deeply, but you are welcome to do it as much. This is my version of sort of a half-hour power shavasana. Take a Baddha Konasana. Baddha Kashafasana. So the feet together, knees wide, and you're just gonna lean forward, tuck and fold, and then allow, right? All permission, super fully expanded permission to be really, really released as much as you expect in Shavasana. That puts you into such a peaceful place that it's all just right. Okay? In your inhale, you slowly unravel that up to an upright position. Right? If you prefer a little cross-legged position, do that, and close your eyes for one moment so we can be here for this last little moment. All right. So there's no harm in feeling that we are mightily pushed into a place which is, at first it just reflects as I'm uncomfortable, right? But that's just the easy first no, right? All the things that, it's because I'm not there yet, or I'm not strong enough yet, or I'm building the strength here, or I'm building my understanding, right? All those things are enticing, right? And they're enticing as an invitation would be, and not to say this is not for you, right? The only thing that I would say that you have to be mindful for is that you care for your person to be awake and alive and well later and tomorrow, right? So safety, right? Safety first. To the cleansing nature of just taking the breath that you need, right? Purifying, full moon energy, right? Hands to your heart. Gently, all hearts, namaste. Happy holidays, happy full moon. Stay cute, talk soon. Wednesday, 4 p.m. right here. Mikeeyoga on Instagram if you're looking for me. DM me if you have any questions. I'm around, and this should be up and recorded. Thanks.